the most manipulative betrayal of a friend you've ever seen. A guy's comment history making the dating pool easy to swim through, someone chucking a tantrum because their viral video wouldn't be viral enough, a questionable case of Kraken or just entitled child, and the most stupidest misinterpretation you've ever seen. Hello you snacks, welcome back, my name's Jack. Let's get into these weird stories today. Husband is having second thoughts about our marriage after my best friend ended their life. I am trying to save my family. Throwaway. I'm a 29-year-old female, married to my husband, 30-year-old male, in 2013. We have 2 children, 4-year-old female and 10-month-old baby boy. My best friend had a crush on my husband ever since we married. We had some history between us because of that. She was a very career-motivated person and wanted to marry after her 30s. She was in love with her ex-boyfriend for some time before she found out that he cheated on her. She ended her relationship with him. After that, she told me she wanted to be with my husband. We had a few fights about this. I told my husband about her crush on him. After that, she told my husband that I cheated on him with some guy in a club. I didn't. My husband didn't believe any of this and had some harsh words to her. She was also fired from our workplace because she was harassing me on work hours. Her career took a pause because of this. Now she has to start from scratch in another company. She wasn't happy about this. Before leaving, she told my husband he will regret his words. We haven't heard from her again. But 2 weeks ago, her mother came to our house. She told us that my best friend ended her life in Christmas week last year. We are devastated. Regardless of the fight, she was my childhood best friend, so I cried a lot. My husband reacted very poorly of this and has been very guilty for his harsh words towards her. He told me more than once that he is regretting his actions towards her when she was already in emotional stress. One time, he asked me whether what my best friend said about me is true, that I cheated on him. I told him no firmly, but deep down, he seems to not believe me. He talks to me only 1 or 2 words. When at work, he completely ignores me. Our workmates came to know about the death, and they are very sympathetic. But they know that I am not at fault, and neither is my husband. But still, husband blames himself. We didn't have an active, intimate life even before this. Normally, only once or twice every month. He is always the one to initiate, but he is distant from me for the past few days. I wanted to suggest therapy to him, but I don't know how he will react to it. Any suggestions on how to deal with my husband? Such a horrible thing to be caught in. What a web. Obviously, the OP here deserves nothing less than sympathy for this tragic experience they're going through. Oh, hello there, just another olive. What's that fascinating link you've got for us? Oh my. What is this? Could it perhaps be a post from 2 months and 1 week ago? Literally entailing an entirely different perspective on this story with so many more little bits of information that clearly point out how much of a piece of Schmidt scumbag this OP actually is? Wowee, let's dive into what is the true version of this story. Yes, my friends, you're about to experience a grade A example of someone who gaslights, girl bosses, and gatekeeps in all the worst ways. Let's just remind ourselves, the OP definitely didn't cheat. Remember that, because the OP said so. They definitely didn't cheat. Anyway, let's see what the truth is. My best friend threatened to destroy my family because I kissed a dude 6 years ago. First of all, my husband's 30 male and I'm 29 female, married for 9 years, and we have 2 children, 4-year-old female and 7-month-old boy. We are each other's first and only everything since we married young. We are from India, if that helps you understand. First 2 to 3 years were all good. Eventually, we learned that both of us have fertility issues. He had weak sperm, and I was physically unable to carry a child without endangering it. This started a series of relationship issues between us. My best friend Maha, 29 female, is very supportive of us at that time. I will be forever grateful for that. The problem is, his job requires a lot of traveling around India. When he goes on site, I will go party around in some clubs here. We both are members and he knows I am going. On one such occasion, 6 years ago, we had a fight about something that I don't remember now. I seriously considered leaving him, as I am financially independent.
Yeah, girl boss him!
Maha and I attend a party in a club where I was being very flirty around with dudes. Eventually, one guy kissed me. It got very weird, so I told him I am married. He yelled at me, asking why I was flirting with him, and then he called security. Maha saw this. Security asked both of us to leave for the time being, as they know I am a member. On the way to my home, she starts telling me about how it is wrong and I should be ashamed. I agreed, but begged her not to tell my husband, as he is a very sensitive person. I promised her I would do better. OP, that was so wrong. You shouldn't do that. You're right, Maha. I'm sorry. I promise I won't get caught again. What? I won't do that again. I wanted to give our marriage a second chance. I changed, but didn't tell my husband about anything. Well, yeah, I had a miscarriage, but I gave birth to my children eventually. I am also gotten a promotion at my job, and my husband started his own business around the time our daughter was born. All of this brings us to now. Maha ended her relationship 5 months ago because her boyfriend cheated on her with his coworker. I was with her during this hard time. She told me now she feels how being cheated on hurts. She threatened me to come clean to the husband about kissing another guy behind his back, or she will tell him herself. If I tell my husband about this, divorce will be inevitable. And he is also so sensitive, so I was afraid he would hurt himself. And I was worried about our kids. I begged her to reconsider her ultimatum, but she won't budge. I sacrificed too many of my goals for this family. I rejected the promotion that I had. Now, when it was offered to me the first time, when I was pregnant with the first child, my career was 3 years delayed because of this. My husband knows this, and he helped me a lot. Wow, look at all these reasons why you should stay together that only benefit you. After some advice from another subreddit at the time, I made a post like this, but saying that she is lying about me kissing another dude when she wasn't, for advice. I decided to go nuclear. I told my husband that she had a crush on him. She tried to set me up with another guy so she can have her evidence about me being a cheater so she could be with him. I told him that that guy forcefully kissed me, and I shut him down. Now, after her breakup with her boyfriend, she's again starting to blackmail me to leave you. She insists that our daughter is not his, so I want a paternity test done on her before Maha starts to manipulate him. Yes, you've heard that all correctly. The OP, who is wanting pity for their situation, is admitting to literally framing her best friend to escape from her infidelity. Now, my husband and I both know that our daughter looks exactly like me when she was a little girl, so he told me that's not necessary, and he knows I am not a cheater, and he will handle my friend if she tries to manipulate him. After this, I told Maha that my daughter isn't my husband's child. She doesn't know about the fact that my mother-in-law does look like my daughter, so she was furious. She told me she is going to tell my husband. Well, just as I planned, husband shuts her down and called her out among our friends. We told them the same version that I told my husband. They all believed us. Now all our work friends stopped talking and hanging out with her. She tried to secretly call our coworker Bavia on the phone to hear our conversation, as I didn't cave in on WhatsApp. Thanks to the advice I got on Reddit, I was prepared for this. I played with her emotions, called her names for trying to steal my husband. Bavia later came to me to apologize for believing that I tried to cheat. With enough evidence against her harassing me, she was fired, and I cut contact with her, not before telling her not to break my family ever again. I was very careful with my words as she record, you know. Let's just come on back to that edited post they made about this. Oh, she was fired from the workplace because she was harassing me on work hours. Remember, guys, OP is the victim here, because despite being just the epitome of an unfaithful scumbag that deserves no respect, they have the goal to expect some sympathy for saying this. Now, I regret that it all came to this. I regret not believing in our marriage in the first place. I regret kissing a guy. I regret I had to paint my best friend as the villain of my story.
You didn't have to, though. That was your own choice.
I regret that she was fired because of me, but I don't regret twisting the truth to my husband. If he knows the truth, divorce is the only way, and my perfect family will be ruined forever. Only her and me know what actually happened. No evidence. Nobody will believe her, and I won't say anything. I don't care what you all are gonna call me. Go ahead. But I built this family, and I won't let anyone destroy it. thank you. Now, of course, that original post was made before the update that implies and informs us that that best friend ended up taking their life. And now we can clearly see why. This absolute dog schnitzel of a see you next Tuesday threw her friend under the bus, not only by making them come across as some jealous psycho, also getting her fired, losing her career, losing all her friends, just because you're ashamed of being who you truly are. Thing is too, like these comments here point out pretty clearly, this is so insane. At first you're kind of like, okay, bit extreme that a friend wants to bring up a kiss from 6 years ago, and you feel a bit of sympathy, and then, dear God, this is beyond nuclear revenge. I can't even imagine doing this flipping ape stuff. Twisting phone calls, lies about children's paternity, faking her being in love with her husband, all leading up to this. Christ, this isn't a devil, this is some words. And more people agree, like, yeah, it's not exactly that bad at first. Like, okay, yes, you were flirting with someone pretty scummy, and then that person kissed you. Okay, they definitely went further than you seemingly were willing to go at first. You're still a scumbag for the intention, but of course, that guy was the one who made the action. But yeah, to do all this escalation, I don't know, man. It's wow. Sticking by r/off my chest, we meet a wonderful gentleman who definitely deserves all our sympathy for the situation that they just need to confess about. Take it away, Magic Weasel Diesel. Yes, I'm highlighting their name because they deserve to be called out. Met a girl online. We snapped for a couple of months. Sexting and general sweet talk. I even started lifting weights because of her. Girlfriend thinks it's because of New Year, but it's for her. Then yesterday, we met for the second time. First time was the day before, and did the deed. My girlfriend of 6 years has no idea this is happening. Can't really tell anyone, but gotta tell someone. God damn, dude. At least the other OP attempted to weasel some sympathy out of us. Yeah, it's a very short post, and of course all the comments absolutely dive into this person being a scummy piece of schmidt. Some trying to offer some sound advice that, hey, look, this is gonna come out eventually. Just end things, man. Does this other girl even know you are in a relationship? But Mr. Weasel Diesel's tactic here? Well, the way he plans to confess to his partner is just waiting for the day my girlfriend opens my snap and asks who it is. Yeah, you're deeply spineless, to be honest. Breaking up with someone isn't that hard. Honestly, the blatant lack of care for the consequences of posting this sort of thing and getting such hate from everyone, you wouldn't be surprised to think if this was just some sort of troll post. But here's the sad thing, it definitely isn't. And it definitely might be a case of someone who enjoys a bit of shame, though maybe not so much receiving it as much as dishing it. Because ladies and gentlemen, it is time to prepare that bleach beside you as we dive into the wonderful 6-year-long account of this person who has seemingly forgotten to realize that whatever they comment on is in their history for everyone to see. Yep, definitely using Reddit as more of a hub for corn, with such beautiful opinions on r/degrade a fatty. Can't even begin to imagine the smell coming from your holes. No one wants to be close enough to take a look. Oh, that's nice of you. Also 2 years ago on Dirty Reddit for Reddit. Again, he's been with his partner for 6 years, just completely open to people about the fact that he wants to cheat. Like, wow, I hope your partner doesn't open Snapchat. I hope she just opens up your computer and looks at Reddit. Honestly, there are so many degrading comments he's made here that I have to just blur this entire thing. So, yeah, thank you for existing, Magic Weasel Diesel. You make the dating field much easier for the rest of us guys who are just achieving the bare minimum at this point. We'll now move over to a fun Today I Fricked Up. Give us a break from all the typical people who are seemingly a-holes in their own story. Today, I fricked up by taking my wedding ring off at the gym. I have just recently arrived home following this screw-up. I, a very happily married 36-year-old male with a small herd of children, have been going to the gym in my little town since November 2022. I always go after getting the kids to bed, which generally puts me in there around 8:30 p.m. The gym I go to has 2 rooms. One has cardio equipment, ellipticals, treadmills, bikes, etc. The other room has free weights and various other torture devices. My routine begins the same every time, with 9.1 to 9.5 miles on the bike, which leaves me in a state similar to that of a walrus that has just managed to pull himself onto an iceberg, very wet and breathing heavy. This process takes me to about 8:55 p.m. I enjoy hitting weights at this time because the gym is often, but not always, empty, and it leaves me to grunt and groan in peace. Tonight, the gym was not empty when I entered the weight room. Now, I mentioned that I have been going to the gym since early November. In that time, I have gotten used to the people that do spend time at the gym past 9, and this person was new. Not a big deal. She had brought her own yoga mat. The ones in the gym are blue and red, and this one was tie-dye-ish. And she had her phone set up on a stand. I assumed she was making a video. Both of these observations were made as I walked to my trusty bench to start my bent-over rows. I grabbed my dumbbells and sat down to continue my ritual, and today I screwed up. I always remove my wedding ring before I lift and tuck it in my right sock for safekeeping. If I try to wear it, it digs into my hand and makes things most unpleasant. So I start grunting out reps with old righty and just nicely switch to lefty when I feel a tap on my shoulder. So I stopped what I was doing and turned to see the new girl standing behind me, sporting a menacing glare and wielding her iPhone. I popped out my earbud and asked what was up. The following conversation is as I remember it. Hey, what's up?
You're disgusting.
Excuse me?
You saw me in here and took off your ring, planning on chatting me up?
This is a little paraphrased. She swore a little too, and I wasn't taking perfect notes. What?
You're gross.
Okay. I proceeded to put my earbuds back in and get to work while she stormed to the other side of the gym and started packing up her stuff. I watched her head for the exit while I was resting between sets. Anyway, I'm rowing away, and out of nowhere, I'm blasted with a cascade of liquid, which leads me to drop my dumbbell and spin around to see what's going on. There's the new girl with her recently emptied pink Yeti screaming at me. I'm assuming for being gross. It was unclear as I had my buds in still. I remove my earbuds so I can understand her, and she storms away. I think the highlight of the exchange is that my gym shirt now smells like vodka. Do most people drink at the gym? Like, am I doing this wrong? Yes, obviously everyone knows that 5 shots of vodka are the perfect pre-workout supplement. Girls don't go to the nightclubs to get drunk, they go to the nightclub to get jacked. So I'm home, showered, and explained why my shirt smells like I've had a raging party to my wife. We both had a good laugh. If I see the new girl's video on social media, I'll be sure to share it here. I don't know who she was, but it's a pretty small town, so it might pop up. Cheers! Thankfully, though the story's about 13 days ago, there are some fresh edited updates towards it, so let's dive straight into them. Edit. Well, this got a lot of attention. So I had emailed the gym owner last night at the request of my wife. She feels the same as many of you, that this lady could be dangerous to others. He has already emailed back. Apparently, the new girl received a ban early 2022 for aggressive behavior with another gym patron. Owner is going to call me later today for some follow-up. Also, I will definitely look into the silicone rings. Thanks, everybody. And final update, I had initially planned on responding to a bunch of the comments, but there are just so many. Anyway, new girl's previous aggression was verbal. The gym owner has deactivated her key fob and placed her on a perma ban. He has also called a few of the smaller gyms in the area to give them a heads up. Super cool dude. Thanks everybody for the thoughts and advice. I know I've let a bunch of you down by not pressing charges, etc. But I also know I have made many of you proud by completing my cardio after lifting tonight. Before I left for the gym tonight, my wife recommended a raincoat for protection. She's the best. That's all for now, unless the video surfaces. Cheers! You know what's great about this? You just know that the main reason this woman was upset is because he didn't react scummy enough for her to go viral with her video.
Sir? Sir! Excuse me, sir! You're not being sexist enough! Do more! Squeeze my butt! Come on!
Seriously, how dare you, man? Be a respectful being to another person at the gym. We'll now tippy-toe down to the anti-Kraken subreddit. But no, it's no Krakens we'll find here today, but an example of one person's Kraken being everyone else's just being a parent. My own mother has started to act like a Karen ever since her medical insurance no longer covers my ADHD meds. So, just yesterday, I was wondering as to why the refill my doctor prescribed last week was taking so long to be refilled. And I found out my primary insurance, which I only have because my mother works in a healthcare company that gives it to its employees, has stopped covering Adderall at the beginning of this year. She's blaming me for this, even though there is nothing I could have done about it whatsoever. And now, just today, we got into an argument because I haven't gotten a job yet. I ask her, well, what's the good of getting a job job if once I'm out of my ADHD meds, I won't be able to keep it? She asks me what I'm going to do when she's gone. How could I take care of myself then? I repeat my question. You'll have a different insurance as your primary when I'm gone, she says. I say, great, but how the hell will that help me now? And because she has no answer, she just falls back and repeats what she's already said. She refuses to listen. Ugh, irony. Saying that all I'm saying is excuses and blaming others. She's acting like a real Karen now. Top comment saying, why didn't you have a job before your meds ran out? It doesn't sound like a Kraken. It sounds like a parent that is upset that their adult child still relies on them for everything in life. So the insurance didn't stop covering your ADHD meds. The insurance stopped covering you. You can only be in your parents' insurance until 26. As someone diagnosed with ADHD myself, I'm not sure that ADHD is your issue. Now, I'm sure there can be genuine examples out there of people who do struggle due to their lack of medication to have jobs and such, and though I do feel like sometimes I have ADHD, I'm not someone who's actually gotten it checked and such, so I'm not going to be someone who claims to be one. So I leave it to those of you in the comments if you are someone who does have ADHD, or someone you know has ADHD. How do you feel it can actually affect you as someone trying to find work and keep work? Would you agree with this person that it can genuinely affect your ability to keep a job? Because personally, I'm really struggling to see how that's a legitimate reason. Let's go to a more lighthearted tale though. Back in Today I Flipped Up. Today, I screwed up by attending my friend's adult dinner party. So to start, this happened last night, but I'm still cringing at myself. My friend Kate, 24 female, was hosting a dinner party with friends. Some of our friends, some of her friends, etc. So I wasn't close with every single person going. And she told me, 24-year-old male, in advance. She said it was an adult dinner party and that I should bring a dish. Her and her roommates recently moved into a new apartment, so it also acted as a housewarming party. To provide some context on our friendship, Kate and I have been friends since elementary school, literally first grade, and went to all of grade school as well as college together. We've had a pretty platonic friendship, and we were always comfortable with each other, doing things like changing in front of each other or even trying out each other's clothes for fun. We could always make sexual jokes to each other, but again, it was always jokingly and literally just for giggles. We've also developed this game with each other, where we would try to grope the other when they least expect it, which in hindsight looks really bad to people who don't know us. It started in high school, I don't know. Bro, she wants you. What? Oh my god. Anyways, I find that all at least relevant for this next part. When she told me it was an adult dinner party, she gave me the winking eye face look, and it's usually a bull-snitchel dumb look we give each other when we hear or say anything that's even remotely intimate. Kind of like saying, that's what she said, but instead of saying it, we just give this dumb look. So I thought, an adult-themed dinner party. I didn't think too much of it because we're so used to just making plans kinda without context and just going along with it without much thought. Fast forward to last night. I decided for the party to wear a cowboy hat and go shirtless, minus an unbuttoned formal vest. The outfit was inspired by the Magic Mike movie. I also brought chips, if anyone cares. I get to the front door, and one of her roommates, Chloe, answers the door. At first, she looked mortified, and of course, I was confused. She was wearing normal clothes. I told her I thought this was an adult dinner party, and Chloe was still confused and just started laughing. She asked me who the flip said that, and I told her Kate did. Friends and acquaintances were there, and quite literally were all just as confused as well for the way I was dressed up. I nervously just laugh it off and tell everyone that I thought this was an adult dinner party. Everyone is just confused, laughing at me, and I'm genuinely embarrassed because I look like a total fool in front of everyone. I found my way to Kate and asked her what the hell was going on since I thought it was an adult dinner party. Busted out cackling as well and meant adult as in the fact that we were all graduated from college now and she wanted to host a dinner party as official adults. Basically turns out she meant adult as a passing term for the fact that we really weren't kids anymore. But again, I think it was fair misunderstanding on my part given our relationship. So here I am in a goofy as hell hat with barely a shirt on and everyone dying laughing at me. Kate takes me to her room to find a shirt for me to wear so I don't look like a complete fool during the party. As I'm putting the shirt on, she slaps my butt and calls me an idiot and just continues to laugh while I'm still red in the face from embarrassment. She lightly apologizes and says she probably would have done the same thing if things were flipped. Admittedly, I did want to leave because it was embarrassing to face everyone after that, but I ended up staying and enjoying myself regardless. Lesson of the story is to have strong communication with the people around you. And just an update to clarify a lot of people making in the comments, I wasn't expecting some sort of orgy. I just assumed the theme of the party was adult, as in sexy costumes. Given the actual party though, it was definitely more of a potluck by definition, which I guess adds even more of a screw up since my poor butt brought Lay's regular flavored chips. There was about 20 of us total to give a better idea of the party, and about half of them were people Kate and I were good friends with, while the other half were friends of Kate's roommates. Don't think it was outlandish for me to think it was a themed party, given we'd been to a fair share of themed parties during college. As for Kate and my grope game, it's primarily just the butt, and everything else is completely off limits. We're not grabbing each other's genitals or anything, and we both dated people, and the grope game was always off limits if one or both of us was dating someone. I just provided all of that context since I felt like it would be a misunderstanding of me and my thought process a bit better, especially in this situation. I'm straight, by the way, since it seems to be a topic of discussion. But that's impossible. You wore a cowboy hat and an unbuttoned vest. Surely that means you like willies. Funny thing is though, majority of the people in the comments don't care too much about them dressing up stupidly. The biggest issue, my man brought chips as a dish. Can't blame them. Reddit knows their priorities. Well gang, thanks again for stopping on by in today's video. That does end us for today. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, drink some water, love your face, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.